Hey, Christina, are you there?
She describes hiding in a bathroom and mistaking a cop as a police officer who she says was angry and hostile with her for a while.
Hi, Meredith.
Oops. Okay, I'm unmuted. Hi, how are you?
Long time.
Yeah, exactly. This This is my first time leading a Zoom meeting, so hopefully I can figure it out. But Christine is here as a stopgap, and hopefully she'll save us from myself.
Hi, Meredith.
Hey, how are you?
Good, you?
Good. It's good to see you.
Seems like forever.
Oh my goodness, it does, really. It's nice not to leave the house though.
I had a meeting last night by Zoom, and it was the perfect night to have a Zoom meeting instead of going out.
I was about to say, I'm surprised I didn't cancel, but what's the point of canceling if everybody's home? Yeah.
It worked just great. That's
Oh
right.
yeah, absolutely.
Although I spoke to my granddaughter this morning, and she goes to Avery Point, and half of her classes are virtual anyhow. So she said they canceled for a snow day the virtual classes. Now, if that isn't the craziest thing I ever heard of, you know.
Yeah, well, sometimes you just need a snow day.
Yeah, I could see that in the 5th grade, but
Right,
not
yeah.
in college.
I hope she made the most of it.
I know. Yep.
Hi, Sheila.
Hi, I'm on my phone because my computer just wouldn't work. So anyway,
Sounds good. I have my iPad stacked on a stack of books with it precariously balanced, so I may disappear quickly, but I'll be here if it falls down.
me if my phone falls over.
Yep, exactly. We have Carol on the line too. I have not heard from anybody else right now. But let's see. I think we need. Let's see. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 of us. So if we can get one more on, we'll have a quorum.
Who is here now so I can make sure I got the notes? You, Carol?
Yes. Do you know Roberta? She's she's top center on mine, but she's labeled as iPad 5.
Okay, and that's Roberta, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Roberta, meet Sheila. Sheila, meet Roberta.
Hello, Sheila.
Hi, Roberta.
And I see Christina on here, but I don't know that she's connected. I know she was like putting the meeting together and hitting record. We are being recorded, but this goes into some archive, and then I think we get replaced. The meeting recording gets replaced once the minutes are in place.
Oh, okay.
But because it's a municipal meeting, we're required to record it, make it publicly accessible. So don't say anything that you're going to regret.
That you wish you hadn't said.
I know, honestly. So we still have a few more minutes before it's actually 5 o'clock.
I had just enough time to come home with my shopping and put it in the refrigerator.
Okay. You could leave it in the car right now too.
Yeah, right. Yep.
That's one of the nice things about this time of year. You just expand the refrigerator space.
Yep.
I went snowshoeing behind your house today, Sheila.
You did?
Yeah. Oh my goodness. The snow is heavy and wet.
Yeah, I bet. How far did you get? All the way down to?
I went all the way down to the access point by Whalehead. It's like at the very bottom of the hill. So Greg picked me up down there, thankfully, but I figured, if I could go all the way downhill, he could pick me up, and going uphill is just tough in snowshoes. But it was exhausting. I'm ready for a nap right now.
Where else have you snowshoed?
Not much. I go over to Lester House occasionally. Usually somebody's at least flattened out a trail for me. I was virgin footprints going through the woods today though, which was beautiful, but it was also a lot of work.
Yeah.
Do you
Couple of
snowshoe?
years, we have snowshoes, and we just used to do it in the back of our house because we
Mhm.
have good acreage there. And a couple of years ago, when we had a lot of snow that winter, we did do that. and all it did was pack down the snow so the deer could get closer to the house.
I'm sure the deer appreciated that.
Oh, they loved it. We blazed
That's really the only
trail.
thing I saw was that I saw deer footprints the whole way around, and
Yeah.
they stick to the trail.
They do. Yep. They are very smart in conserving their energy. You know.
Absolutely, yeah.
Meredith, which Carol is here? You said that there was a
Carol Schneider.
Schneider. Okay.
Do we have enough? Oh yeah, that's right. We have Carol Christensen too.
Yeah.
Hi, Sheila.
Hi. You're the one with no face.
Can you see the names underneath everybody,
No,
Sheila?
I cannot. So.
Okay.
Well, wait a
All right.
minute. I got a flash that Bonnie just joined, but it went away.
Yes, okay, I see Bonnie. I had to touch a thing that said gallery view, and now I can see everybody. I don't know if it's different on your phone.
Well, I don't think I do. No.
Okay, that's fine.
And
Hi,
not
Bonnie.
really Chance it. I just had go to meeting down, and so I haven't done Zoom that much.
This is fine. This will work. I don't think we're going to be here too long. There we go. I don't know, unless anybody has a lot to talk about tonight, but we'll see. We'll give it a few more minutes. It's 5 o'clock exactly right now, and we do have enough for a quorum, which is lovely. Thank you all. Let's just give it another minute or so to see if. Oh, look at that.
Carol Christensen, I just saw her. Okay.
Yes. Wow, and she's got a beautiful background there.
I'm driving
Christmas.
in the car.
Oh, okay. Hi, Carol. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Okay, so Sheila, we have Roberta, and we have Bonnie Harris. We have Christina, but she's just coordinating the meeting. She's not sitting in on it. We have
Okay.
oh, Jessica's here now too. Hi, Jessica.
Hi, sorry.
No, we're all good. We're all good. And then we have Carol Schneider and Carol Christensen.
Okay, excellent.
Okay, and yeah, I guess as we're
Julie was here?
I'm sorry?
Did you say Julie was here?
no, not Julie. Jessica. How do you pronounce your last name, Jessica?
It's Buell.
Buell. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. I've been mispronouncing it in my head all along.
No
Buell.
worries. Happens all the time.
All right. All right. So let me see. I have not heard from Julie, or who else is there? Betty. Anybody know how Betty's doing? Roberta, you keep in touch with her. Is she
I
doing all right?
saw her back in December,
Okay.
but she's kind of hanging out like the rest of us at home. Other than that, I haven't seen her at all.
Okay. Oh, geez. Well, I hope she's doing all right. I haven't heard from her one way or another whether she intends to come. All right. Well, why don't we get started? It's 5:02, and if anybody else wants to come in, we can accommodate them. If you could all do Sheila a favor, she's taking notes tonight, and she can't see everybody's name underneath the picture. She's doing this on her phone. So if you are talking, please let her know who you are before you talk, so that she knows who to write down. Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Sheila. Thanks for taking the notes. Has everybody had a chance? Oh, okay. Let's see. First of all, let's call the meeting to order. It's 5:02 and the meeting is called to order. Let's do our roll call. Let's go through and everybody say your name so that Sheila has it on record. I'm Meredith Robinson. I'm the chair.
Berta Lewandowski.
Carol
Christensen.
Schneider.
All right, we got everybody at once. Okay, so
You want me to call out the names?
yeah, how about you do that? That would be
Yeah.
great. This is my first
Roberta,
time trying this.
Roberta is here. Bonnie Harris is here.
Yes, she is. She's raising her hand.
Okay, I can't see, I can only see Roberta. I mean, Meredith.
Oh gosh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it is, yeah. Carol Christensen,
Here.
thank you. Jessica Buell,
Here.
Carol Snyder,
Here.
and Sheila Vincent here. Okay, we're good.
Beautiful. Thank you. Okay, has everybody had a chance to look at the minutes from the last meeting?
Yes.
Okay, and does anybody have any issues with them? Okay, we need somebody to make a motion to approve those minutes, please.
I'll motion to approve minutes.
I'll second
Okay.
it.
So Bonnie moved and Roberta second. All in favor? Let's raise a hand if you're,
Aye. Aye.
And the Carols, we can't see you, but are you guys in favor of approving the
Yeah,
minutes?
aye.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
All right, from the old business from last time we had talked about the adopted landscaping areas, and there was that area by the library that Jamie Allen had requested to take over. Who is it? I believe it was Julie Brousseau talked to Rich at H&H Landscaping, and he agreed to give up his space. It seemed like it was non-controversial. He was happy to be rid of it, and Jamie moved in pretty much immediately and decorated it. I don't know if anybody's walked or anybody's gone past the library lately, but there's a big pile of greens, and I think there's a big bow there too. So she's on it, and anybody who knows Jamie knows that she's very very gung ho and is very much into decorating. So I assume that she will be changing it for each season to be festive throughout the year. She took out the sign that said H&H Landscaping, and I think she just threw that away because there wasn't really a use for it. And she does not want her own sign there. So she's doing this. I mean, it's okay for the library to know that she's doing it and it's in our minutes, but she does not want the public recognition of having the little maintained by the Beautification Committee by Jamie Allen. So let's see. And I sent out the thank you notes. It took me a while, but I sent out the thank you notes for the folks who maintained the flowers at Town Hall and Parks and Rec over the summer. So Roberta, thank you for getting me the info on who we need to thank for that. So hopefully they know we appreciate them. All righty. So is there any other old business that anybody would like to talk about?
No, but can I ask, who did you send the thank you notes to?
To
Is it in the minutes? I'm sorry,
it
guys.
probably is Diana Mann. She was, I believe, a custodian at the town hall. She maintained them over the summer. Monica Verabelli,
Okay,
I don't know how to pronounce her name, from Parks and Rec. I think they're in the minutes, but I can get you the name separately.
No, when you said that, I remember reading them. So
Okay, and the third one was Roxanne at Town Hall. Okay, yeah. Anybody else have anything from old business? All right. So for new business, a few things that I had put on here were Earth Day cleanup, any summer projects, and anything else that we want to deal with. I know we're all kind of stuck at home right now, or safe at home, as depending on how you look at it. But it's kind of hard to plan any kind of large scale projects that involve people outside of us individually. But what do you all think about doing any kind of Earth Day cleanup this year? Does anybody have any ideas about how we'd like to do it, if we want to do it, or what we could do for it?
What's the date? Yeah.
Oh, that seems like a good question. Let me see if I can find it on my phone. Anybody know offhand?
April 22nd.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, Earth Day, April 22nd, exactly. I think that's the same day every year, and that's a Thursday this year. I don't think that coincides with spring break this year too, which is nice. What do you all think? Do you have any ideas for what, if anything, we could do for Earth Day? In the past, we did a kind of like a neighborhood type thing where we asked people to adopt a street. We had street captains who coordinated getting vests and litter, or getting trash bags, and then Public Works came along and picked up all the bags that we left behind. I don't know how wise that would be to encourage people to get together to do that, but maybe we can encourage people to do their own streets. I mean, Jessica, you
Yeah, I
coordinated
think
last year.
last year we did very much a social media, like individual. If you want to clean up, participate, use this hashtag, post it on the page. And I know we had quite a few people sharing, there was probably like 15 to 20 posts of like, I cleaned up Shoeville Road, or I cleaned up Long Cove, or I cleaned up Christie Hill, or whatever. So I think having that would be really cool. And I don't know. I wish there was a way to incentivize people, but I want people to just want Ledyard to be clean because they want it to, not because
Right.
they can win something, but because they're sick of trash on the side of the road like I am. And I'm like, stop throwing your Dunkin' cups out the window, dude. It's like the same 12 people because it's the same trash in the same spot every day. It's like, oh, I hit this bend and I throw my Coke can out the window. What? So I don't know if we want to do it that way, or maybe even post on Facebook and let, because we do have a lot of people who like the page now, and say, how would you like to participate? Would you be willing to participate in a group, neighborhood group event, or would you prefer to do something individually? And I don't know if people just don't want to, because I don't know if not having the supplies or not having the gloves or not having the vests is like important to them. I just put on a neon pink t-shirt and I go.
Yeah.
So it's just, I don't know. That's my thought of it.
I think it was SCRA. I don't remember what the acronym is, but the folks down at Gales Ferry Landing, I don't know if they're still there, but I think they had provided.
They are there. They are
Okay.
there.
Yeah, I think when we had done it like 2 years ago, they had provided vests for anybody who needed them, and maybe the trash bags too. But does anybody have a point of contact there, or anybody that they know that?
I
might
can ask
ask?
Gary's on the committee there. I can ask him to see if they'd be interested. I'm pretty sure they are, or they have been interested.
Okay.
In helping.
Would you guys be all right with that for them to see if they have the vests and supplies?
Yeah, I think that would be awesome if people could just go pick up their own vest and their own bag, and that way they don't have to meet with other people, and it might be like a curbside type thing or something like that.
Okay,
That might be a little bit easier to organize.
that's
I think the social media piece, though, of ahead of time saying, I'm going to be cleaning up along whatever street you live on, so people get enthused about doing that in Ledyard, as well as without creating a competition, there still could be a competition about my street is cleaned up kind of thing, how
You
great
might be
it
able to.
looks.
You might be able to do a contest for the most of those nippy bottles,
yeah.
which a lot of people are upset about those, and maybe have the biggest amount and have a prize or something if we can do that.
Take a picture.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Sorry, I was being interrupted by a 6-year-old. He's like, I want a Jolly Rancher. I'm like, I'm in a meeting. Yeah, I think posting it too, there's something like a Rolling Stone effect that people see it and they're like, oh, you went out and cleaned up and you got like 7 bags of trash. I should go out and do that. And it's like a motivating, and that feedback loop of like, that got like 145 likes. Maybe I'll post something and get 145 likes. Like, like stuff like that. I don't know. That's weird. So, but
Yeah, I would recommend doing it on. I mean, we have like 300 people who like our beautification committee page, and we keep steering people there. But I think the Ledyard Community Forum gets a lot more traffic. Yeah, and if we post things on there frequently, I think we can both direct people to our page, hey, like us, but also, if people are posting publicly there, hey, I cleaned up, made Marion, what are you doing? That may get it.
here's
Meredith?
Bragging
So
right.
what if we work with the admins of that page to create like so they change their cover photo whenever there's like a storm or whatever. So what if we change the cover photo like weekly to show like this week, like 28 bags of trash were picked up in Ledyard, and kind of just keep that momentum running so it changes and shows people like, we're this close to 100, let's keep going.
Yeah.
Maybe get more people in Ledyard to be like, oh my gosh, we're picking up all this trash, I should go do that. Or, show a kind of a counter of like, just, I know a lot of people were counting their little nips bottles or cans or whatever, but just to
Mhm.
have something that shows like, this is all the trash we picked up in Ledyard, like
Yeah.
as a reminder of like, hey, you can go help clean up too. It's pretty cool. So I don't know, just something to get that momentum where it's not just a post somebody scrolls past, but it's something that they see every time that they go on the group.
Mhm.
And I don't see why they wouldn't be open to that idea, maybe.
Yeah, I think that the one drawback of that would be just advertising. Hey, look how dirty Ledyard is, or look how much trash
Yeah.
we have in Ledyard. But I don't know
But-
how much
Or
they'd
maybe
want to advertise that as the
if we
opening
just
image.
counted people, people who participated and said, we've had like 25 people clean up this week. Thanks so much for participating in our Clean Up Ledyard project.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Meredith,
Yes.
I mean, is the April beautification meeting on the 2nd? Am I correct on that?
Does anybody have it offhand?
It's on my phone from your, oh, wait a minute. It's in the minutes.
Oh, April 7th.
April 7th.
No,
Okay,
no, no, I'm sorry. That's 2020. No, hold on. Let me see if I.
It's in the
Okay.
minutes. I just have
Yeah.
to find it.
It would be April 6th, the first Tuesday of the month, right?
April 6th.
Probably.
This, yeah.
Yeah, here it is. April 6th.
We don't, I guess my suggestion is, well, for me, I don't think April's far enough and we don't know what this COVID thing is going to do yet. So I'm not willing to go out in a group, but I would probably, I would work on my yard and in my neighborhood. But I guess my thought is that maybe we need to put something on the beautification page now and just ask how many people are interested. Maybe we don't have that many people that want to do it. So I guess, yeah, that's it. I think I would find out from the public before we went all out to see what the interest is. The world's not the same as what it was a year ago. So
Right. As far
I
as
think
the other,
getting interest going, letting people know that it's coming up.
yes,
Just the
Right.
fact of Earth Day and the date that it will be will start to get people thinking about it. And then I think the blurb could say something like, if conditions allow, it's a great time to start cleaning up your neighbor, your area or something like that. But it starts to get people thinking about being out again, cleaning up, where when the snow is on the ground, you're not thinking about that yet.
that's true.
I agree. And I think that I guess the reason I want to know about the meeting is we should know by the April 7th meeting how much interest we're going to have in the April 22nd day.
Yeah. The April 22nd is a Thursday, I believe. Yeah. Okay. I don't have a calendar handy, but I think it's a Thursday, or it's
It is a
midweek
Thursday.
at least. What would you think about having like a whole week or the entire month, maybe just to
Yeah.
Last year we did the entire month and I think
Okay.
it was too much. I think that it kind of didn't give anybody a sense of urgency. We did have a
Gotcha.
lot of people that participated, but I think that the people who did participate were the kind of people that would have participated no matter what.
Okay.
So having extra time didn't give more of an incentive, in my opinion. It was just like, oh, hey, there's a cleanup thing going on. The maximum amount of time you can create an event on Facebook is for 2 weeks.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so I had to create 2 separate events last year. So I think even a 2-week mark gives still that flexibility.
Mhm.
But it's not like a whole month of like, okay, but if we're like, the last half of April, that's when it's nicer out, everything like that.
And that
Yeah.
week before is spring break for the schools too.
Okay.
So that's spring break is the 12th to 16th. Is that
Yeah.
right, Bonnie? Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, and
maybe.
I know one of the ways we pitched it last year too was that it is a really good social distancing activity. It's something you do by yourself or like with your immediate family, and you don't have to talk to anybody and you don't have to go near anybody, and you just put gloves on and you're done. And I'm like, it's great. We cleaned up part of Christie Hill and I didn't see anybody else out there, and I was like, this is wonderful. I didn't have to talk to anybody.
Nice.
So it was like safer than going to Target. So I don't know, that's where, but like, obviously I wouldn't go with a group of like other people, because like,
Mhm.
I don't want to talk to other people, not just because of COVID, but just in general.
Mhm.
So.
But even if like you had other people and some did one side of the street and some did the other,
Yeah.
that's one way to
Oh, yeah.
semi-distance.
And it would be really cool for me to know like other people in my neighborhood. Like if I'm doing Pheasant Run and somebody's doing Eagle Ridge, I'm like, oh, that's awesome. They're cleaning up my neighborhood too. Just that neighborhood feel of like, we're taking it on together because there's a lot of street here. So not a lot of garbage, but a lot of street to cover.
That sounds good. What do you, I have my phone, I'm trying to look at it. The week of Earth Day itself is the 18th and 24th. What would y'all think about doing from like the Friday before till that Sunday? So like the 16th, 25th. That gives us 2 full weekends and a week in between. It does not include spring break other than that last weekend of it. But it's, you know, a good 10-day chunk of April. Do you want to try targeting that?
I think so.
Okay, what did I just say? 17th to
You said the
25th.
16th to the 25th.
25.
Okay.
The 17th or the 16th?
Yeah, 17th is the Saturday.
So 17th.
Saturday through the following Sunday would be the 17th to 25th. So what you're saying now is we should get on the beautification page and say, hey, how do you want to help make Ledyard beautiful for Earth Day? Like, what do you want to do? Who's going to adopt streets or areas or anything else? What do you how do you want to own Earth Day, or how do you want to own making Ledyard beautiful?
Yeah, I think that's kind of a really good plan, especially to say, you know, I don't know. I think we also should ask, you know, do people want the vests and the stuff, like the vests and the bags and everything like that? Because I don't want us to go through and organize all of that. And if people be like, I don't really need that. So
That's true. I think
but
yeah, last time it was just, you know, people go down to wherever, to Gales Ferry Landing, and they pick them up. So it's, I mean, we make sure that they're available, but there's no actual action on our part required, which is nice.
Yeah, definitely available for anybody, you know, 214. It's not the most safest road to be standing on the side of. So we have it available for them if they want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not sure I even want to encourage people to walk along that road, but I have maybe people who have property abutting it.
We rescued a turtle on that road and it was very scary.
I can imagine. Good God.
there are parts of Long Cove that I really want to clean, but I am really afraid of getting hit by a car on. And I am like, I'm not doing that part. So
yeah, it would be best if nobody got hit by a car when we're encouraging them to be in the street. So we'll see. Hopefully, but yeah, Carol Schneider, if you're able to check with somebody down there to see if they have the vests and any equipment available, we can advertise what they're willing to give us.
I kind of mentioned it to Gary, and he'll check, and he's pretty sure like they'll be able to pick them up right there. Okay. I think the only thing you have to worry about is, I don't think Public Works is going to be able to go around too many sites to be able to pick up trash. So hopefully the people will throw it away themselves.
Yeah, I think most people can just bring it back to their house.
Yeah, but I'll find out.
Okay, that sounds good to me. Thank you. Any other Earth Day stuff that you all want to talk about? All right, sounds like we have a way ahead. I'm on the Parks and Rec Commission, and I don't know where we are. I think we meet next week, but I can see about getting a blurb in the next Ledyard Events magazine. And I don't know how many people read that, but if there is one that comes out before April, I'll see if I can get a paragraph in there saying, hey.
I think that the next one is May.
Is it? Okay. Day late, the dollar short.
But there could be a blurb of follow up on cleanup, you know, nothing like getting a little publicity.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know what kind of lead time they need for it. So yeah, the results from April may end up in September, but we'll
that's right. I think it's a month.
Okay. All right. I'll check on that. All right. Anything else for Earth Day before we move on? Okay, and then any summer projects? That was the other new business I put on the agenda. Anything else that y'all want to talk about?
The only project I'll bring up is the flower pots.
Oh, yeah.
And I suspect that by this year, there'll have to be some replacement of plants because this would be year 3.
Okay,
So the spikes that are in the middle, I'm pretty sure are all going to make it, but I'm not sure about other stuff. So if we can wait till April, but I do think that we'll have to look at spending a little bit of our money to replace some plants.
okay. Should we wait until the April meeting to vote on the money?
Yes.
Okay,
And maybe by then I'll have a better idea of prices and what stuff costs this year versus, because I think this spring will be different than it has been previous years. So that's, but just that we remember that comes up if we still want to put them out.
I think so. I think that's a nice thing to have. Is there any place over on the Gales Ferry side of town that would make sense to do that as well? Everybody's always complaining that Ledyard gets everything and, you know, Gales Ferry gets nothing. But I mean, even if we did it at the senior center, not many people go there. I mean, especially now with COVID, I think I don't know that they're doing any activities there.
I think
But
that's the real only town property over on this side is the senior center. Like,
okay,
I don't know
Yeah.
that anywhere else that would be sensible to put it that's not private property.
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I guess we have the landscaped areas, but no flower pots.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh well, Gales Ferry can wait. All right. I think at our next meeting, we could probably talk about daffodils and whether we want to try to ramp that up again in the fall. Hopefully we'll, I guess, what was it, like around mid-April that we saw the daffodils last year?
Yes.
So, okay. So yeah, maybe we'll know something by the next meeting, how they're coming back.
Should we
But
think about fundraising at the farmer's market if it happens?
Yeah, I think if we are going to do more daffodils, yeah, I think we did get a lot of money at the farmer's market. I'm trying to think of how we got most of our money.
I think it was the church breakfast.
Oh yeah, that was
Oh,
quite a bit.
yeah. We need to
But
do
that went
that.
into our
That opens.
general fund rather than to the daffodils itself, I believe. I know a lot of people just gave us big checks, which was lovely. But I think that was at like
The farmer's market.
yeah, we collected them at the farmer's market. Yeah, so
Now-
yeah, I think if we are going to do it, let's see if we can get into the farmer's market and
If
set
we
up a table there.
take some pictures when they're in bloom, we could create a poster or something of what previous places were planted to show what we'd like to continue. And that might create a little more interest in an ongoing project.
I think so. I took a bunch last year. We went to every one of the sites that we had planted, and I took pictures. I posted them on our LBC page, but I can print those out and make some kind of collage when the time comes.
And
But,
if some look better this year, we could substitute, update
Absolutely.
pictures or whatever. But I think that shows people what was done with the previous donations.
Agreed. Yep. And hopefully we'll be able to get out in groups and plant and all that stuff again someday. And hopefully
And
by
like
this fall things will be normal.
It might be worth it to even ask people, if we have a table at the farmer's market, where would you like to see more planted? Because that might give us some heads up on where people have interest.
I agree. That's a good idea. Yeah, one of the things that we noticed last year were in some of the places we planted them where there weren't clearly defined boundaries. So we just planted them in grassy areas, and Public Works wasn't all that excited about mowing around them. So I think after a few passes, they just mowed them down. So we'll see what comes back. I'm hoping that's not going to be that big of a deal, but if we don't get good returns in those locations, we may need to only find designated places where there are boundaries where the lawnmowers won't get them. I can't really complain about Public Works doing their job, but it's also, I also don't expect them to manicure around the individual plants, which is a tough thing to ask for.
We need to get the word out too on getting people out there to take the pictures, other people to take pictures too, and just get out there and drive around. And I don't know if we can put that in the book or it would be too late with the town book, but just to get
Mhm.
people to drive around and look at them. Even with COVID, they could be in their cars looking at the flowers when they come up and taking
Yeah,
pictures.
I think we could do like almost a treasure hunt kind of thing. You know, there are
Mhm.
24 places to find the common daffodils or something like that. Can you find them
Mhm.
all?
That'd be fun.
Yep.
We're all looking for something right now.
And that was 2019, right?
Yeah.
We
Let's see,
didn't-
2020 was when they
We
were
planted
actually blooming.
19, but they
We
came out.
planted
19.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you. Sounds good. Anybody else have anything to discuss today while we're all together?
That could almost be a thing where you'd get kids interested in as well. You know how they have the treasure hunts,
Yeah.
you know, to,
They could even do the painted rocks. You know, a lot of people around here like to do the painted rocks with little messages, be kind or whatever, and
Yeah.
let them put out, you know, obviously in the areas with borders so that Public Works
Right.
doesn't run over a rock, but have them put those out there and let them try to find those as well, or even leave more for
Yeah.
other people.
Mm-hmm. That's an idea. I think maybe it was, I don't know if our senior center or Parks and Rec or if Groton did it, but they did some kind of like a scavenger hunt where they had like a little mascot where they'd stick them in various places. Maybe it was like Christmas time. I don't even remember, but there's a lot of stuff going on. But they would take, no, I think it was our Parks and Rec. They would take a picture of, I don't even know what it was, like some logo in various parks, and then people were supposed to go out and find where those parks were. So we may be able to do that with, I mean, you know, stick a bumblebee in the ground or something like that, and, you know, find the bumblebee around town. Where is it now? Where is it this week? So, I don't know. It's something.
Like it.
yeah, I think that kind of thing would, at least people would recognize how many places they were planted in that 2019 time.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it'd be nice if we can really expand upon that and make it a townwide thing where it's truly all over the town.
Yeah.
All righty. Anybody else have anything else to
What
add
about
tonight?
the lamp posts down the center of town?
Um,
Do we ask Public Works to change them out again? I think the wreaths are still up.
Are they really? Okay. I kept meaning to look for those every time I went downtown, and I never.
They changed the wreaths out like I think last week or the week before. I was driving home from work and saw them changing them out.
Okay, what did
All
they
right.
put up?
The flags.
The ones with the photos on them, or like
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
okay.
the ones.
Oh, good.
I'm pretty sure that's what it was the photos.
All right. I need to pay attention. All
I
right.
just
My
remember
son's learning how to
seeing
drive,
John,
so
there was a
I'm
man
paying
standing
attention
there,
to other
so-
stuff. Okay. That sounds good. All right. Well, hopefully, I had asked Steve to take a look at the banners to see what needed to be replaced, and he said he'd get back to me, and here we are. So anyway, I'll check back with him to see if there's anything that looks like it needs replacing. We do have money in the treasury. Do you have any idea how much we have right now, Roberta?
I have no idea.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, it's probably the same as last time. And
Yeah, we
time
didn't
before that.
spend anything,
Yeah.
you
okay.
know, and it was over, I think it was over $1,000.
Okay. Yeah, so we should have enough money to replace them when the time comes.
And
All
maybe
right,
by
and-
then we'll be able to have more fundraiser in the fall,
Mhm.
which would give us, if we can get through this season of COVID, you know, for 2021, maybe we
Right.
can have a fundraiser towards the end of the year that would then let us purchase new ones going forward.
That sounds good. Yeah, people seem to like them, so I think we could probably get people to adopt a banner too, or whatever is
Yeah,
necessary.
that's absolutely right. That might work, like when people adopted the first signs that are around town that say,
Mhm.
families adopted places, and that might be a legitimate way to do it. The flags won't be nearly as expensive as those signs were.
That's true. Yeah. No, it sounds good. Cool. Well, thanks for the ideas. Anyone else? All right. Well, do we have a motion to adjourn? I can't do it.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
That was Carol
Sarah.
Schneider,
I'll second.
and that was Jessica.
Okay.
All right. All in favor?
Hi.
All right. Well, thank
right.
you so much, everybody. I appreciate it. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye,
Good night.
stay safe.
Thanks. You too. Great seeing all of you.
At the airport. And you can count on NBC Connecticut for full coverage no matter what the weather. Keep an eye on our free mobile app for alerts, closings, and delays. And don't forget, you can also use the app to get the forecast anytime, anywhere.
Every year, the state gives less money to city and towns for property tax and rentals tax or property rental tax. But municipal officials are hopeful a bipartisan proposal may bring some relief. NBC Connecticut's Christine Stewart explains it's all good.
For New Haven, roughly 60% of our property is non-taxable. And so that means that New Haven residents and business owners that own 40% of the property in the city have to pay 100% of the taxes.
New Haven Mayor Justin Ellinger said the city is running a $66 million deficit because of the state system of taxation and how state funding is currently redistributed. It's the story NBC Connecticut first told you about 2 weeks ago.
But in Connecticut, nearly 90% of municipal revenues come from the local property tax. And so that puts an incredible burden on New Haven residents.
Most of this non-taxable property, like private colleges and hospitals, is located in cities like New Haven, Hartford, and Bridgeport. Senate President Martin Mooney says he wants the state to dedicate $114 million in state funds to increase payments to cities and towns for this non-taxable property. The proposal has Republican support, but that support is contingent on how the state decides to pay for it.
Raising taxes is a very difficult conversation, as you well know, and certainly for any municipality, the greater the property tax burden, no matter what the reason, makes that community less affordable.
Variant First Selectwoman Jamie Stevenson says she's encouraged that the increase can be done without increasing any taxes. She says she's opposed to mansion tax in order to pay for an increase in funding for non-taxable property.
I do support the concept, and I want to be a team player, understanding the challenges in our urban centers. But we can't ignore the fact that we have to find the right revenue source.
North Haven First Selectman Mike Freitas said Senator Mooney has been great in identifying multiple revenue streams, none of which are directly linked to this concept.
In the end, we'll see what the revenue stream will be, but for the purposes of today, we support the concept as it's been laid out.
I'm Christine Stewart, NBC Connecticut News.
All new and next at 6. The snowstorm put a stop to COVID vaccinations yesterday, but not for long. I'll tell you what it took to reopen one of the state's largest vaccination sites.
And how much would you pay to go to space? The company is sending civilians into orbit later this year. What it would cost for that company when we come back.
What's up?
You want to go into space?
No. I'm spaced out already.
Come back and have a meeting. Dry cracked hands from constant washing, cold weather, and hard work. Try O'Keefe's working hands. It's America's
That was a pretty good meeting, right?
Guaranteed relief for
35
extreme
minutes?
dry cracked hands. Also available in O'Keefe's lip repair. Guaranteed
What
relief
you
for
talk about,
extreme dry
anything?
cracked lips.
Replacing the flags in the center of town.
Please deliver 12 hours to Australia.
Usenex lasts 12 hours, so I'm
Usenex lasts 3 times longer for 12
Should
hours.
we do an activity for Earth Day in April?
So give your business more than resolutions. Give it solutions. From Comcast Business. Work more efficiently with fast internet and advanced Wi-Fi. Make your business safer. With
Doing a
powerful cybersecurity
fundraiser to buy
solutions.
more daffodils to plant.
24/7 support. Make this year's resolution better solutions. Bounce forward with Comcast Business. Get started with powerful internet from Comcast Business for $69.99 a month. Plus, ask for gifts for a $500 prepaid card with a qualifying bundle.
Open the door to a new career with Penn Foster. Our affordable online programs prepare you for the essential jobs in demand today and in the future. Study online at your own pace and still have time for work and family. Join more than 500,000 Penn Foster graduates who changed their careers. Start your journey to a better job.
And planting the planters that we took over to the senior center.
Work out in safety and convenience of your own home gym with total fitness equipment, treadmills, spikes, elliptical trainers, and rowers, plus strength training equipment like free weights, functional trainers, home gyms, and more. Stop by any of our convenient locations. The COVID-19 vaccine is rolling out in Connecticut, so let's get ready to roll up our sleeves. Your community is counting on you to get vaccinated when you can. The fact is, that's the best way to keep everyone safe. Keep checking this website for updates.
Stay in the know. Get all the latest info on the COVID-19 vaccine on the NBC Connecticut app or at nbcconnecticut.com/vaccine. NBC Connecticut, the #1 online source in the state.
Welcome back. Apple's next iOS update will let users unlock their iPhones with Face ID while they're wearing a mask. The update has been highly requested since the pandemic started, but there is a catch. The facial ID stuff will only work if you're also wearing an Apple Watch. If your watch is unlocked, all you have to do is use the phone and your wrist will buzz to let you know your phone is unlocked. Complement technology. Moving things forward. How do you think they take a trip into space?
Could be an interesting idea. SpaceX is sending 4 tourists into orbit later this year as part of a mission to raise money for charity. Jared Isaacman, the founder and CEO of Shift4 Payments, is paying for the flight and donating 3 seats to members of the general public. Now, the aspiring astronauts are being asked to donate to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital for a chance to win a seat. It is all part of an effort to raise $200 million for cancer research.
My crazy thought process, if St. Jude succeeds, you don't need a Make-A-Wish. And that's what kind of gravitated me towards St. Jude's mission for this, for our inspiration for Endeavor.
SpaceX says the flight will travel across a low Earth orbit over multiple days.
Well, from corporate America to renowned chocolatier, that is the journey of one man who says his hard work and determination has really paid off in finding his dream job.
Chris Malone has the story.
After earning a degree in chemistry and then spending a decade in big business, Memphis's Philip Ashley Briggs had an epiphany.
3 o'clock in the morning one day, I said I'm going to be a chocolatier for the rest of my life, and proceeded to spend the next 3 years, roughly, give or take, teaching myself everything about chocolate.
Drawing inspiration from his family, which loved to cook, Philip Ashley Chocolates was born. He quickly gained a reputation for creating beautiful and tasty handcrafted treats, pairing chocolate with unusual ingredients like sweet potatoes and sugar from his grandmother.
That's literally the first chocolate that I made when I said, you know what, okay, I'm ready to go and do my own thing.
Since then, he's won awards and accolades and made chocolate served at star-studded events like the Oscars and Grammys. While many businesses are struggling during the pandemic, it turns out many people are turning to comfort foods like chocolate to cope during this difficult time.
So people want something to connect with when other things are not so connected or going well.
Now it's time for Valentine's Day. Kentucky's Woodford Reserve Distillery has asked Chef Philip to create chocolates to be paired with its double oaked bourbon.
You know, for companies like Woodford Reserve to give us a shout and work with us on like this, it's been huge. So
Philip says cooking with chocolate and experimented with different pairings is a great family activity. After all, it's kept him connected to his.
The main thing that I always try to tell people is be fearless in the kitchen. You know?
Chef Philip Ashley Briggs making his dreams come true while providing moments of decadence for the rest of us. Chris Malone, NBC Connecticut News.
Fearless enough for quite that good. Your passion to the livelihood. We're still ahead here at NBC Connecticut. Connecticut versus the country, how the state stacks up compared to others when it comes to handling the coronavirus pandemic.
And temperatures will be dropping tonight. That could lead to a little bit of black ice, and we're looking at the potential for another winter storm. We'll talk about that coming up. First, a look weather.
We all love to go out and have a good time, but it's important to get home safely. Connecticut has the 5th highest rated traffic deaths involving a drunk driver. If you or a loved one's the victim of a drunk driver, call Trantolo and Trantolo and let our family help your family.
You say you're too friendly with one too many sales drugs.
Hey, call center lady, call you by your first name.
Prior going back and forth reading long and taking notes with photos, only to find out that everything they wrote was this word.
It's time to find true love with your new one.
No more games, no more swiping left or right into the Barbary on Nissan. We're ready to take the blood.
On deals like only $369 a month on this new Pathfinder with 0 down.
Third row love.
Yeah, we got that one. All kinds of.
Barbary on Nissan, there's 5 Wallingford, 1-800 new cars.
Burrito?
The pandemic has affected our business. We are down roughly 70%.
I was nervous. I was scared. When the PPP loan program was announced, the first people we reached out to were our partners at Ion Bank.
We were very, very pleased to be approved through Ion Bank, and they took the time and the effort to make sure that we were going to be okay.
The team at Ion Bank has just done everything possible and went above and beyond, as they always do.
Are you tired of looking at your old ugly cup, or is getting in and out of your tub a safety concern for you or a loved one? Then it's time for a jacuzzi bath remodel by Carefree Home Pro. Right now, we'll pay 50% of the installation cost of the jacuzzi bath remodel. Plus, make no payments for 12 months, so you can enjoy the bath of your dreams now and not pay a dime for 12 months. But you have to get on our schedule before the 12 months. Text, visit our showroom, or go online at carefreehomepros.com today.
This is NBC Connecticut News.
Although at 5:30, tracking COVID, the state of Connecticut has a large set of data it shares on a regular basis.
Now, the White House has released its data that provides a different way to visualize and compare how we as a state are doing. Chief Investigator Lynn Bestoff breaks it all down.
For months, regular briefings by the Lamont administration have shared all kinds of stats on how Connecticut has fought COVID. Now, there's another source for COVID data in Connecticut. The Biden administration just began releasing weekly state and county level COVID data the White House has been compiling but not sharing since the pandemic began. The federal data is not necessarily different than the data the state shares. It's updated weekly and in some cases just presented differently. For one thing, you can get a specific snapshot of how much of a supply hospitals in our state have of PPE, down to the particular piece of equipment. Right now, roughly half our state hospitals have more than a month's supply of everything from N95 masks to gloves and other supplies.
I will be showing it to my students tonight.
Carl Mingus, chair of Health Administration and Policy at the University of New Haven, believes this data will help both healthcare professionals and the public.
But I think just the key here is the visualizations and the way it's communicated.
The state profile reports from the feds also allow you to look a month back to see how we're doing in metrics including COVID positivity rates and deaths.
Helps us to determine what trend will look like during the next peak, what areas are likely to turn bright red sooner than other areas.
For example, compare this month to last in positivity rates, and you can see how we've improved going from mostly red to mostly yellow. Deaths, on the other hand, have gone up a little. This newly released Fed data also gives you state-by-state comparisons on some of those same metrics like positivity rates and deaths. This new COVID data shared by the White House is supplied by the states, compiled by the Centers for Disease Control, and updated weekly. You'll have a link to it on the NBC Connecticut app. Len Bestoff, NBC Connecticut Investigates.
Now, NBC Connecticut's first alert weather. Connecticut's most accurate forecast, certified by Weather Rain.
As the state continues to dig out from yesterday's big-time snowstorm, we want to check in with Chief Meteorologist Brian Kennedy.
Yeah, it was certainly a big one. Picked up about 15 inches of snow in New Haven, had about 15 at Bridgeport, and about a foot in Windsor Locks. The highest snow total is about a foot and a half up in portions of Burlington, Alwington, and down toward Wookett. A pretty impressive event for sure. Here's a look outside live in New Haven. Notice we got a little snow flying right now. You can see some drops on the camera lens here, so the snowflakes melt a bit. Temperature is just above freezing in New Haven, but you can see we do have some snow coming down right now. I've got a report Down in Milford from Chris, he reports that there is a little bit of snow and a little coating of snow has developed. So you can see some snow here in the New Haven area. Initially, it was a bit of a mix down by the south, but it has transitioned over to some snow. So from Milford to Orange, over into West Haven, New Haven, back into portions of East Haven, and up toward Foxton and North Branford, we've got a little bit of snow. Not much, but this could dampen the ground, and as temperatures drop over the next couple hours below freezing in most towns, we could see some black ice develop. Just be mindful of that. A little coating of snow possible in a few towns this evening. See some snow out in western Connecticut as well. So not a huge deal here. I think this will begin to taper off by about 8 or 9 p.m. But some flakes in the air this evening. Temperatures are coldest now in western Connecticut. That's where there could be a bit of accumulation. In New Haven, though, it's 36. It's going to be tough to get much accumulation downtown. 35 down Meredith, 34 in Windsor Locks. You can see those snow showers fizzling over the next few hours. Temperatures tonight will have clouds dropping into the 20s. As we go through the day tomorrow, we'll see temperatures that will climb into the lower mid-30s. A lot of clouds across the state. Mainly cloudy day tomorrow. And a cool day, but overall, things are looking okay for the day on Wednesday. Thursday looks better. Temperatures go up a couple notches and we'll see plenty of sunshine. It looks very nice for Thursday. Now on Friday, there's a storm that approaches from the west, but this storm is going to be a milder storm for us. And what I mean by that is that it looks like we're going to see mainly rain. I do think at the onset it may be cold enough for a little bit of snow, especially in inland parts of Connecticut. But with the wind coming in from the ocean, we should warm things up relatively quickly, and we'll see rain Friday afternoon. So it turns damp, so it's sort of a cloudy, gray, rainy day on Friday, but we clear things out for the weekend, and much better weather moves in on Saturday. Sunday, however, looks a little interesting. We'll talk about that coming up at 6. So it's scattered rain or snow shower tonight. Temperatures will be in the 20s during the day tomorrow. A lot of clouds, 33 to 35, with out of the north, 10 to 20. Could be a slight rain or snow shower, but not much. Sunny skies on Thursday, 37, 42 on Friday, with snow going over to rain. A little bit of minor accumulation possible in hill towns. Partly cloudy on Saturday, 34. And then snow expected on Sunday, 33 degrees. At this point, it's very hard to determine how much snow we're going to see on Sunday. Some computer models have a big storm. Others have a storm that's farther out to sea that brings very little here locally. So stay tuned there. Hopefully we'll get a bit more model agreement and a bit more confidence in the forecast later on tonight and tomorrow. It's cold for most of next week, though, behind that storm. Temperatures only on Tuesday in the low 20s during the day. Single digits and teens at night. Kevin Leslie, we'll send it back over to you.
All right, Ryan, thanks. Once that cleaning and shoveling is done, it's time to have a little fun, right? We've got a ton of photos and videos from viewers just like you celebrating. Yes, so you actually celebrate the snow days.
Take a look at this. It does not get much cuter than what is on your screen right now. This is the puppy we call Chief, loving his first snow day. He lives with his family in Goshen.
And take a look at this. Well,
Even between flare-ups, Dupixent is biologic and not a cream or steroid. Many people taking Dupixent saw clear or almost clear skin and significantly less itch. Don't use if you're allergic to Dupixent. Serious allergic reactions can occur, including anaphylaxis, which is severe. Tell your doctor about new or worsening eye problems, such as eye pain or vision changes or parasitic infection. If you take asthma medicines, don't change or stop them without talking to your doctor. So help heal your skin from within and talk to your eczema specialist about Dupixent. If your financial situation has changed, we may be able to help.
this does not look like a discount sofa. It's not. Everything I sell is quality furniture, and I give you a discount. Mom's discount. Interesting. I'll remember this for as long as I live.
You look so young, Jane. It's not discount furniture. It's quality furniture at a discount. Bob's discount.
Only at Bob's Discount Furniture.
So, what should we do today?
Can we get some slime? Mom, can we go to the beach?
Should we just go see a movie?
Yes.
I'm always up for a good movie. Go Rogue in the all-new Fiercely Reimagined Nissan Rogue.
The Connecticut Sun are bringing back a big-time player, Alyssa Thomas, a two-time All-Star and member of the WNBA All-Defensive Team, signed a multi-year deal today. The terms of that deal have yet to be released, but Coach Kurt Miller says that Thomas is, quote, known as our engine.
And keeping with the sports theme here, the UConn women preparing to get back on the court and the young players stepping up.
Plus, some new information regarding high school sports. Sean Pagano is here with that and more for us this evening.
As winter high school sports athletes continue to grind toward a season, on Tuesday, the National Federation of High School Associations continues revising guidance for participation for high school sports during this pandemic. Now, one of the main changes to the guidance is the elimination of the tiered risk approach, which we're talking about low, moderate, and high risk sports. Instead, medical professionals recommend several other factors. We're talking community infection rate. COVID-19 transmission rate during athletics has been low, and mask wearing for indoor sports. Now, I reached out to the CIAC, who said it will meet with the Sports Medicine Advisory Committee to review, and that the Executive Director, Glenn Lennarini, is in contact with the Connecticut Department of Public Health and the Governor's Office. Right now, wrestling, competitive cheer, and dance are high-risk sports in the winter, and lacrosse for the spring was also considered high risk, as was football in the fall. The UConn women's team doesn't have a senior on the team, but that's not stopping the Huskies, who are back in action on Wednesday at home as St. John's comes to town. It'll be the first time the Huskies have played the Red Storm this season. Now, UConn sits 11-1 and ranked third in the country, and they've done it with some 5 freshmen getting considerable minutes. Now, that could mean some inconsistency at times, but Coach Ariema knows the reward at the end of the season in the conference tournament and the NCAA tournament.
Their energy level is really high. They do some bizarre things at times. And I wish they would be a little more confident offensively in their game. But at the same time, I couldn't be happier with where they are.
On the ice, the UConn hockey team is rolling, coming off a sweep of Merrimack over the weekend. And one highlight is the play of junior forward Johnny Evans, who scored 4 goals on Sunday.
It was Johnny on the spot. He anticipates really, really well.
And Johnny's performance is one for the record books. His 4 goals in a game is the most in the program's Division I history. But the Huskies' leading scorer with 11 goals on the year has as much of the credit to his guys.
Against my line mates and my team, honestly, I don't really know what else to say. My teammates just kind of helped me and find me, and I just, yeah.
A big reason for that is the off-season work that he put in, and it's showing. At 5'9", 170 pounds, he's playing much bigger than that, consistently putting his team in position to score.
He's strong right now. I thought he got pushed around a little bit his first 2 years here, and now he's strong. And he can play a lot of minutes. He can play in the hard, tough areas.
I feel like I could probably go up against anyone and come on with the puck.
The Huskies play on Friday at Northeastern. Until next time, happy sports, everyone. Sean Pagano, 561 Sports.
All right, Sean, thank you. Check out the newest episode of the Locked On Giants podcast. Eli Manning and his father Archie discuss everything Giants related. And if you want to listen to that episode, take out your phone's camera and point it at this QR code, and we'll send you a link directly to that episode on 561.com. All right, a new study has shown that more college football players get concussions from practice, not games. The study found that 72% of concussions occurred during practices. Preseason training accounted for nearly half of all concussions, even though it's only 21% of the overall season. The study may bring changes to practices like we've seen in both high school and the NFL.
That does it for us for now. Thanks so much for joining us.
We'll see you back here for the news at 10 and 11 tonight.
Open the door to a new career with Penn Foster. Our affordable online programs prepare you for the essential jobs in demand today and in the future. Choose healthcare, trades, business, or another rewarding career path. Study online at your own pace and still have time for work and family. Join more than 500,000 Penn Foster graduates who change their career. Start your journey to a better job and a better life now. Enroll today. Call or visit us online.
At NJM Insurance, making our policyholders happy, is what makes us number one. Our customers have rated us first in the nation in customer satisfaction with the auto insurance claims experience, according to JD Power. And that makes us happy too. Experience award-winning customer satisfaction today. This isn't just insurance, it's NJM.
Why does Carter Mario fight for you? Because you didn't deserve to be injured in a car accident, but you do deserve justice.
And that starts with attorneys who understand what you and your family are going through. Over the past 30 years, we've won millions for our clients. So you can recover with confidence, knowing we'll never compromise when it comes to your case and your recovery.
We fight so you don't have to.
Call 800-900-6700 for a free consultation.
Ah, yes. The living room / classroom / office. Observe how gig speed internet from Xfinity powers the gaming tablet, the school tablet, and the extremely sticky tablet. Everyone's connected at once, even Mom, who's upstairs working hard. Mommy's not here right now. Gig speeds to more homes than anyone. Leave her be. Can your internet do that? Get started with Xfinity Internet for $39.99 a month for 12 months. Or ask about our new Wi-Fi speed, now over a gig. Switch today.
I got this.
Thanks.
Thanks for the ride. You know, funniest thing, I had a couple of bucks. I played the lottery the other night. Play the Connecticut Lottery. It doesn't take much to live big. Play the Jewels collection from the Connecticut Lottery. The scratch tickets with dazzling top prizes.
Hey, what are you doing, man? Linda's spending time with her son tonight. Apparently, she's one of those single moms that puts your kid first.
The bitch.
You're just saying that because our mom put us third. Or after she got the Datsun 280Z. So, what you doing?
Paying our household bills.
You're a good wife, Ellen.
Yes, station for viewers like you. Thank you.
And now, BBC World News.
I'm Laura Travain in New York City, and this is BBC World News America. The Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny is sentenced to at least 2 years in jail during a contentious court hearing. He denounced Russia's leader as Putin the poisoner. Amazon's Jeff Bezos is stepping down from his post as CEO later this year. He'll become executive chair of the company's board instead. And tributes are pouring in for Captain Sir Tom Moore, who died at the age of 100. He'll be remembered for raising tens of millions for coronavirus workers in the UK. Welcome to World News America on PBS and around the globe. The Russian opposition activist Alexei Navalny has been sentenced to jail. The ruling could add further fuel to protests that have swept the country. The US and the UK have called for Mr. Navalny's immediate release. From Moscow, Steve Rosenberg sent this report.
For years, the Russian authorities claimed that Alexei Navalny was no threat to them. He was just a nobody. But outside the court, they were taking no chances. Inside, handcuffed, Mr. Navalny was brought into the courtroom. Then the Kremlin's most ferocious critic was locked in a glass cage. He'd been accused of a parole violation. Now a judge would decide whether a suspended sentence he'd been given for fraud 6 years ago should be turned into prison time. The case is widely seen as politically motivated. Mr. Navalny dismissed it as complete lies, and he's convinced the Kremlin is behind it. In court, Alexei Navalny delivered a stinging attack on Vladimir Putin. He said he was in the dock because of the hatred and fear of one man, the president. He claimed he'd offended the Kremlin leader by
by surviving the nerve agent attack on him last year. President Putin would go down in history, he said, as the poisoner. Later, the court ruled against him. Alexei Navalny was sent to prison for 2.5 years.
We will submit an appeal to and inform the Committee of Ministers of the Council of Europe, which deals with the execution of decisions of the European Court, which monitors the execution of European Court decisions.
It is the latest twist in the most dramatic of stories. A long-standing opponent of the president. Last August, Alexei Navalny survived a Novichok attack, allegedly by Russian security agents, and was airlifted to Germany. On returning to Russia this month, he was immediately arrested. That sparked protests across the country in his support and against Vladimir Putin. Today, police detained hundreds of people near the courthouse to prevent any protest. The Kremlin paints many of those who've been taken to the streets as hooligans and provocateurs. As for Mr. Navalny, until today, the authorities had avoided sending him to prison, so he wouldn't become a political martyr. The calculation has changed. To the Kremlin, Mr. Navalny is now seen as a bigger threat at liberty than behind bars. Steve Rosenberg, BBC News, Moscow.
A pivotal moment there in Russia. Well, here in the US, new coronavirus cases are falling, and although the number of deaths remains high, the US is now vaccinating more than 1.3 million people a day. And from next week, the Biden administration will send vaccines directly to local pharmacies to try and speed up the rollout. But the spread of more aggressive variants remains a concern. Joining us now from New York is Dr. Tom Frieden, the former head of the Centers for Disease Control and president of Resolve to Save Lives. Thanks so much for being with us. So, do you think the US is vaccinating enough people at 1.3 million a day to try to fend off all these different variants?
Well, the fact is that vaccination alone is not going to bring this under control anytime soon. We need to double down on protection protocols. That means essentially minimizing your time sharing indoor air with people who aren't in your household and masking up. Also, as we ramp up vaccination, we need to make sure we're not leaving some group behind. We're already seeing much lower rates of vaccination among Black Americans. We're seeing low rates of uptake among care home or nursing home workers. And these are groups that require very specific outreach. So it's not just how many vaccines, but how well targeted they are. And obviously, the sooner we vaccinate, the sooner we can reduce the death rate and ultimately the number of cases.
Well, to your point, here in New York City, Black people are being vaccinated at a much lower rate. So you talk about targeted solutions to that. What do you suggest?
The best practice globally is what is called a micro plan, where the health department figures out with great detail who's going to get vaccinated, where, by whom, what are the best messages, and who are the best messengers to bring those messages. And with that, and with tracking of information, which we've recommended today, a set of standard indicators to track that on a weekly basis, so you can adjust your program and improve it as you need to, and figure out ways to reach communities that may be hesitating to get a vaccine.
Now that the vaccine is going to be from next week shipped directly to pharmacies, at least 1 million doses, do you think that will make a difference, that people like their local pharmacies, they'll feel more confident about going there?